Hello, this is Steve Malone with Compass FX. I hope you're doing well today and you're getting some good trades. We're definitely into the dog days of summer, and it's been pretty tough for professional money managers to make any headway in the marketplace as none of the major pairs are trending. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at the euro dollar here, you can see the majority of what we've seen in the euro dollar going back to September of 2013 has been pretty well sideways. We had a little bit of upward action, but for the most part, we've seen majority of the business be between 135 and 137. So it makes it pretty tough. As a matter of fact, according to one currency manager index report that I recently received, overall professional money managers are down 3% in returns in the Forex trading. But you got to look also from the standpoint that volumes in the Forex are off 35 to 40% year to date. So what are we to do as individual active traders in the marketplace? Well, one thing is find a strategy that works, and when you get into a range, don't try to trade necessarily right in the middle of the range. You may want to look for the market to push out to the edges of a range and then trade back into the range. So you can see right here that we have a pretty sizable range here, 135 to 137. Now if I step in and take a look at the euro dollar on a 4-hour chart, we can see that it's had a pretty decent little move down here. It's had a 1, 2, I expect a third move down, and the potential move all the way down to about 135.10, where we find a lot of corporate bids in the marketplace right now. Today we had a bit of pullback. You can see here that we pulled back right to the 23.6. If the market can't seem to get beyond the 36.20 area, then look for it to push back down, breaking 35.80, then getting back down towards that 35.50, 35.60 area. Now later this week we'll have the FOMC meeting minutes, and we'll hear from ECB President Draghi. If we get the same old, I expect then a drift down further. If Draghi gives us something else to think about, we might see a push up in the euro dollar, getting through the 36.20 area and on up to 36.50, which somewhere is the near-term range high, and you're going to be seeing some possible shorts come in right about at that level. So my opinion is the possible push up to right around 36.20, 36.50 area, and find some sell limits in that area. Other than that, if we get down to about 35.80, start seeing some sell stops get activated as the market slides on down back towards about that 135 area. Now shifting gears and taking a look at the pound, if you take a look at the monthly chart, something that a lot of professional traders and institutions have been aiming for is the 50% level between the high that we had back in November 2007 and the low that we had back in January 2009. That 50% sits at 173.30 area. But as of late, we've seen the pound lose its strength to the upside. If you look down at the 4-hour chart here, we can see that we were progressing up towards 71.80. And some were expecting to see it break 172. However, given the divergence that we see here, this negative or bearish divergence, these higher highs and then lower highs in the Traders Dynamic Index, many are anticipating a continual slide to the downside, and we may see a potential test of the pound back down towards 71. As a matter of fact, Citibank came out today and said that if we do not close above 71.80 for the week, they expect a slide back down towards the 170 and possibly all the way back down to about 169 level. So with that in mind, we sit right at the weekly pivot. We still have these higher lows and starting to show a possible swing low, but the weekly pivot gives, I suspect that the possibility the market slides back down to about the 70-60 area. Then we look for the market to possibly test this area right here. You see these highs back here in that weekly S1. Well, if you break those, with that next level down is a weekly S2 sitting at 69.50 and pretty close to a low here. See, they sit pretty close to that same area. So I would look for the market to possibly come down and test this area and then possibly slide on down if we don't get any renewed strength out of the pound dollar. So those are my thoughts going into the rest of this week. A little sideways action a little up and a little down. If we do see anything from the FOMC meeting minutes that should suggest some strength into the dollar, which I kind of doubt, knowing the FOMC, or if we don't hear anything new from ECB President Draghi, we might see a slide further down in the euro dollar. Given some of the technical and fundamental things I see in the marketplace, we might see a slide back down towards 135.10. So big picture, look for the possibility of the euro dollar to go down to about 135.20 by the end of the week. And if the pound doesn't make a move above 71.80 towards 172, then I look for a potential descending move on the pound back down towards that 170, possibly down to 169 area. Well, this is Dean Malone with Compass FX. Hope some of this information will help you out. Y'all make it a good day. Get some good trades. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.